being done to prevent terrorists from coming in at our southern border. Joining us now, Congressman Lance Gooden, one of the 19 lawmakers who's looking for more clarity on this matter. Congressman, thank you so much for being with us this evening. Why did you feel the urgency, you and others, to send these letters?
Well, we've been asking questions similar to this since President Biden took office, as this problem has continued to grow. But what happened in Israel was a real wake-up call, I think, for even some Democrats that I've spoken with since then, because we don't want that to happen here. And as long as we're letting unknown people come across our southern border from God knows where, then we're susceptible to something very similar. We've seen the number of terrorism watch list arrests and apprehensions at the border increase. There have been more in this calendar year than there were in all 4 years of President Trump's administration. And it's very scary when you stop to think about who may be coming across. And those are just the folks that were caught. We don't know about those that have gotten away that we don't know about. These are not just poor people coming and looking for work. These are folks coming over from Iran and Syria and places that are not our friends, and it's very alarming.
Congressman, I just want to, looking at the letters you sent here, one of them says, quote, our border's porous state is being used as a gateway to infiltrate U.S. soil, not just by individuals on terror watch lists, but also by individuals from designated hostile nations with military training. Can you expand on that? Because I've not heard a lot about people with military training coming in any significant numbers. Could you explain that?
Sure. I'll give you an example. Last year, a plot to assassinate former President Bush in Texas was foiled by the FBI. And some of the people that were arrested were folks that had trained with Iran and Hezbollah. There were others that got away that are loose in our country now. These are folks who are trained by militaries of hostile nations like Iran. That is one specific example that made the news. There are countless others that this government doesn't want to talk about. But when these numbers keep going up of apprehensions on the terrorism watch list, these are people coming over across our southern border hoping not to get caught. These are just the ones that got caught. And they have been found to be on the terrorist watch list. That's terrifying. And when they're coming from nations like Iran that we know is out to get us, is out to harm our interests all around the world, this administration really needs to step up. And the American people are fed up. And what's happened recently in Israel, I think, is a wake-up call, and it should be. And I sense that Democrats are waking up to it.
Congressman, just to play devil's advocate for a moment here, the Biden administration, I'm sure, would say, and its supporters would say, the numbers that we have, and we can put those numbers on the screen, which, as you say, show more on the terrorist watch list being apprehended, they would perhaps argue that that shows the effectiveness of the southern border, not the ineffectiveness.
Noel, the reason these numbers are so high is because the message has gone out across the world that the United States is not policing its borders, that the borders are wide open, and chances are you'll get across. And in fact, we see that. You can turn on the news, you can go down to the border and visit. So many are getting across, so many are walking across. They're coming through the main entry. They're also coming through the open borders, through the over water, through the desert. We're not catching everyone, but the fact that these numbers are so high is very alarming. This is not something the Biden administration wants to talk about, which is often why they drop these statistics on a Saturday morning when people aren't paying attention.
Congressman Lance Gooden, very good of you to be with us tonight. Thank you very much for being here, sir. And I just want to bring you a little bit of breaking news that we are getting here for our viewers.